Alright, in this video we're going to go over unit attacks and your basic to hit formulas. Now this is going to be less about showing you and more kind of explaining the formulas in the game itself. So what the computer is doing behind the scenes that you're not seeing as much. I'm going to throw a couple of pictures on screen for you now. One is a chart that shows all the different units and what their hit numbers are when they're firing at other types of units. And then below that, you'll see the listing of the formula that the computer is going to use when it's calculating its to hit variables. So you'll see when you look at the long formula itself, it says 2 plus the base attack value plus the difference in quality ratings. Then you get half the commander's rating rounded up, and so on. It's a long drawn out formula, and that's one of the actual benefits that you're going to have in a computer game versus a literal physical board game, and the fact that it would be very hard to have all these different modifiers and variables in a board game. It would be hard for someone to keep track of, but thankfully the computer can do all of this behind the scenes. So the big one that you need to pay attention to is that base attack value. That's what is located here on this colored chart. So that's your base number that you're going to be looking at when your troops are here on the line and you're comparing them on who you're going to fire against. So you don't need to have all of these numbers known and memorized, but it's a good idea to have the basic gist of it in the back of your mind when you're deciding who you're going to be performing your attacks against. You see there at the bottom, it does say that at the end, once all modifiers are accounted for, it's going to do a random number 20, and if that number is less than or equal to X, which is whatever your number gets added up to, then it's going to be considered a hit. Now, cavalry and artillery do have a chance to evade. It's going to be 75% for cavalry and 25% for artillery if they're attacked by infantry. So like this cavalry unit here on the line, it could have a chance to choose to withdraw back. If it does not choose to withdraw back, though, the attacker is going to get a bonus of +2 against it. So keep that in mind if you do choose to withdraw with any of your troops. If you choose to keep them on the line, the attacker is going to get a potential bonus against them. So if I throw all my troops, and let's just throw them on here real quick, and we will run it out so I can show you how the computer does show you. And we'll close this out again with a reminder, and more than likely they are going to get a lot of attacks off real quick. Oh, and they killed my artillery. Okay, so thankfully this time I did get a chance to order a unit first, and you can see again by leaving my cursor on the opposing unit, it does show you some of those modifiers and your total number that you're looking at. So you see this one's not looking too good. This one's not looking too good, but for this one, this is a disordered and tired unit, so I'm going to have more bonuses, more modifiers going in my direction. And you see that's an average attack. I've got a +5, so I've got a better chance of actually causing some damage over here. Now, when it comes to the result of a hit, again, this is something that's going to be done all behind the scenes. You don't have to keep track of this. This is the computer handling all the dice rolling per se. You see that the result is going to be handled very similar to how the hit is, in the fact that it's looking at things like the ratings, the commander's ratings, if it's a tired status, and so on. All that's going to come into play. And again, it's going to be a random number 20 compared to this time Y, which is the number you're rolling here. And again, I've got the results listed down. You can see that if it's greater than or equal to Y, it's going to be reduced. If it's greater than or equal to Y plus 5, it's going to be routed. If it's greater than or equal to Y plus 8, then it's going to be eliminated. And if it's just flat less than Y, you're going to have no change. So in fact, the hit did no effect.